Today I got a video for you guys talking a big fight that could be in the works, and that's Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Huge fight for boxing. I don't think there's anything bigger. Canelo, obviously Mexico, the Hispanic community, Southwest, all that shit. Terence Crawford, in my opinion, is a worldwide star, and he's actually been a worldwide star. I just think it's from his geographical location in the Midwest. People didn't know how big he was, but that dude gets love from all over the world. And he was bigger than Spence. He had a bigger name than Spence going into that fight. But what are you going to do? PBC's got their own branding. Al Haymon does a good job of marketing, but their fighters usually come up short, it seems like. Like Charlo versus Canelo the other night. Unbelievable. Charlo should have done more. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know why he didn't pull the trigger. He didn't pull the trigger all night, but what are you going to do? But Canelo's at PBC, obviously, so it's looking like Benavidez or Crawford or, whatever Canelo wants. But, Canelo knows that, he wants to make the fans happy. That's how it works. You got to fight the best guys. You got to put on a good show, a good product for your Mexican fan base, for your companies, for everything you represent. Not being scared of anybody. So, this is this perfect fight. Canelo versus Crawford, what are we talking about? You got Crawford, that's an international superstar. You got Canelo, international superstar, and they're the same size. Same size, okay? I've met Terence Crawford. I've seen him, at events and stuff. The dude's not a fucking 147 pounder. That motherfucker's just sucking down. That's what Canelo did too. Canelo just sucks down. So basically, 68 for Crawford is like he's playing cornerback in the NFL. God, I speak a different language than most people, but what I'm saying is they're the same fucking size. That's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Somebody that's lifted weights his whole life, has coached all the sports, boxing, MMA, football, fucking basketball, everything. I've been around all the levels. And I understand, how this weight cutting works and all that. And A, it's not really good for you, okay? But B, it could be good for you because you want to be sucking down and be the biggest man in the goddamn room. I get that. But Canelo and a Crawford on like a level of weight, Crawford could weigh more than Canelo right now. I don't know. And he could also weigh more than him on fight night. So let's throw the fucking weight out of there, okay? 100%. Somebody that knows. I don't know much. But I know about the human body. I know about weights. I know about sizes. I know about athletics. I know about sports. I know about politics. I know about religion. Don't know anything about women. But, because they'll fuck you up. But I know about the fight game. And this fight is evenly matched, 50-50. It would be a war. And I got a favorite. And you could say, yeah, you're Team Crawford if you've watched my videos in the past. Yeah, absolutely. But I also told you he was going to beat Earl Spencer's ass. I also told you that he was going to beat the shit out of Jeff Horn until Jeff Horn submits. Okay? I've literally called all his fights right. Like 100% right. Canelo on the other side, I'm kind of warming up to him a little bit. I thought he lost the first Triple G fight. Canelo's great. I've been watching Canelo since he came up in the Mexican system. So he came up in the Mexican system as a kid, okay? I remember that kid. And he came up like those Tijuana fights. I'm not saying he fought in Tijuana, but there were those bar fights pretty much. He was... And it's like an amateur show. Like you go down to Tijuana like Devin Haney did when he first started his career at 17. You go down to Tijuana, you throw somebody the bag, you come back with a few wins. You fought, you beat the guy, you were in a crowd, you put gloves on. I get that. You put 8-ounce gloves on and you went toe-to-toe with a guy. But it's not it's not some of the stuff you learn in that amateur boxing experience that Terence Crawford learned, in my opinion. Okay? What Bivol learned, you know, what Mayweather learned, you know, coming up in the amateurs, like Crawford, coming up in the amateurs, you know, as a young kid, you know, doing that, all those tournaments, you know, 4 or 5 fights in 1 week, yada, yada, sparring, training with the best guys in the world, you know, learning all different styles. You know, that is very important. You know, you can have these anomalies. You know, you can have the Jake Pauls, and I'm not even saying like that, like him, because I'm not trying to go off on that route. But you got a lot of pros that, you know, maybe 20, 30 amateur fights, and then they just jump right in that motherfucker. You know, if you come up in the system, especially USA Boxing, I don't know about it now. You know what I'm saying? It could be. I'm going to shut my mouth before I talk some shit about something that could get me off of YouTube, but I'm just saying it's soft. But back in the day, how Crawford came up and everything he had to do with the Golden Gloves and all those other fucking tourneys you got going to Vegas and whatnot, you know, for the Nationals, you know, it made him the fighter he is today. Canelo just doesn't have that, in my opinion. And that's going to leave holes in his game against a guy like Crawford. Okay? I'm telling you, I understand the sport, and I understand the size of these athletes, and Crawford's probably bigger than Canelo naturally, 100%. Canelo just was just like, fuck it, I'm going to go up. Crawford had to, you know, do what he had to do to get what he wanted, but he can go up to 68 tomorrow. Dude's big. Dude's big. And he's a professional. You know, I had a guy, Kevin Cruz, you know, back in the day, I used to train him. And, like, you know, we talked, and, like, you know, Bo Mack and, like, Crawford, they brought him up to Colorado Springs and, you know, brought him to Omaha. And, like, Kevin told me the system. Like, you know, he tells me what they do, how they train. And, like, I remember, like, he had, like, a picture of an NFL athlete, I think, for, like, the Vikings or Packers or something at, like, one of Crawford's training facilities. So, this was, like, 5 years ago. Crawford's been training like in like a real NFL pro athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like, his sons are like state champions, national champions. Like, they got a good wrestling program. They know how to train. A lot of boxing gyms don't do that. I don't know if, you know, the Charlos and, like, you know, Spence, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they're training. But I do know that, you know, Canelo, he's got some good Mexican-style training with the strength and conditioning. I'm not hating on it. But, like, I think Crawford's got the, you know, the blue chip, the 5-star recruit, the NFL, the, you know, Division I, top 5 schools kind of coaching through the weights and training. Okay? Even training in Colorado Springs at elevations, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? So, like, so now that we got that out of the way, like, you guys, people just don't understand the sophistication in Team Crawford's camp and Team Canelo's camp to get them where they are. You know, they're always training. They're always trying to do the right thing. And, you know, they ain't got time to fuck around. These are serious men with families, and, you know, they take their careers very seriously. And they both probably have a lot of pressure on their lives because they both take care of their communities. These are like these are like some of the best people in the world, okay? They're people with money who help out, who are humble, and they just don't give a shit. It's not like they're just flashing cars and doing this. They're stand-up characters. That's why this fight would be so big. And it could sell in Raider Stadium 100%. And, you know, other thing is, I mean, boxing sucks, really. I mean, and we need something good, and this would be a good fight for that. And, you know, X's and O's wise, let's talk about punching and all that kind of shit. Well, you know what? What's going to happen? You got an orthodox versus southpaw. Because Terence Crawford's going to fight southpaw, you know, most of the night, okay? So he's going to be throwing right hooks. He's going to be throwing left hands, right uppercuts, right hooks to the body. His left hooks upstairs. He's going to be moving his feet, okay? And, you know, Canelo's going to do what Canelo does. He's going to come forward. And just like, you know, Crawford, he's going to be blocking punches with his gloves. He's going to just be able to feel it. He's going to have a great focus, concentration, great camp coming in. He's going to be throwing his hooks to the body, uppercuts, straight twos. And it's going to be a firefight, 100%. And in my opinion, I favor Crawford, okay? But I favor the first person that fucking pulls the trigger and just comes in with something. You know what I'm saying? So, like, somebody, like, let's say Crawford throws, like, a straight left hand or, like, a hard jab because, you know, he's a righty, and it just fucking stings Canelo. Then he comes up with some other combination, puts him down on the canvas, or wins big that round. I'm going to favor Crawford the rest of the fight. But if Canelo, you know, throws something, you know, upstairs and Crawford's going to be in, you know, southpaw position, or he switches and he catches him in the act in the middle of it, or, you know, throws a right hand down the pipe, then you know what? I might be favoring Canelo a little, okay? But I'm going to tell you one thing. It ain't going to be like the Charlo-Canelo fight. Because Crawford ain't going out like that, homie. Are you kidding me? And he's just black. Okay? His mom wanted kids to beat him up in the goddamn neighborhood. So he's got good reflexes. And what I think I brought up earlier, like, yeah, he could be fucking cornerback in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? This guy can wrestle. This guy could go MMA tomorrow and do something in the UFC, 100%. No, I guarantee it. He's just athletic, way more athletic than people think. And he's strong up here. And I just think it'll be too much for Canelo. But I mean, Canelo, people watch my videos like, you're just a fucking Canelo hater. Absolutely, okay? Canelo's good. But he always gets the fights at the right time with the right people in the right weight classes, besides Mayweather and Bivol. Terence Crawford would be one of those guys. And I think he's already cemented his legacy, but I think he will cement it more with this victory. He can get over Canelo. Canelo, you know what? He's going to come to fight, and this could be like fucking Marquez Pacquiao shit. This could be some fucking gangster shit that we watch forever that has 1 billion views on YouTube by like 2030. I don't know. But this has got to happen. This fight has to happen. Okay? Spence was never going to beat Crawford. Okay? I said that. People hated on me for 5+ years. Most of the predictions I make are pretty goddamn accurate. And this is another one. Terence Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez. And he doesn't only beat him, he will punish him. That's my video. Much love, guys. I got love for everybody. I mean, I put a fucking glue trap for a mouse on the other day. And I saw the mouse suffering. I tried to fucking save it. Okay? I have love for everybody. I don't want any violence. I don't want any war. I like sports for sports, and, you know, I just think we all need to get along sometime. But that ain't going to happen. You got all this shit going around in all the world. All I want to do is watch a good fight. Let's channel our negative energy through this shit. Crawford versus Canelo. May the best man win. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Again, much love. Peace.